true, I think. Again, before I moved to this area, into Stepney, I didn't really know much about Islam. I didn't even study it at school. In my schools, for some reason, we never covered Islam, even though a lot of schools do these days. So it was because when I started meeting people, I thought, well, I want to know more about what these guys believe. What does it mean to be a Muslim? And that led me to, obviously, the first thing you do is you think, well, I'd like to read a bit of the Quran. Now, obviously, I don't speak Arabic. I can't read Arabic. But I got hold of a translation, an English translation, and I read that, and then I got a copy of the Hadith, and I read some Hadith.
Wow, a lot of Muslims don't have that. I tell you,
okay, well,
I will be witness for that.
I mean, I remember walking into the bookshop in Stepney. It was an Islamic bookshop, and I didn't really know what I was asking for, but it was a hadith I was after, and I didn't know what it's going to look like, how much is it going to cost, what's it going to be, and I just went and said, I want a copy, and he sort of gave me just one volume. I obviously haven't read all the hadith, but it's just one volume, Bukhari, is that right?
Wow.
Bukhari, yeah. So that was, and just reading that, it really helps to understand where people are coming from, and a little bit of understanding the path on which people are trying to walk as Muslim people. That and obviously, as soon as you start reading a book like that, you start to see similarities with your own faith and the way you try and live your life, and some differences too, because obviously we don't believe exactly the same things, but there are some similarities, and I think that helps. But when you start to see, okay, we're not completely different to each other, but actually there's things we
any
share.
book you can read, any book you will appreciate, isn't it? Any book you read, any poetry, anything, you would say a lot of things. Oh, wow, that's nice, that's good. You will be positive. If you don't read it, you don't get that. You just think everything is rubbish.
That's right, and we have to be really careful where we get our information from, right?
That's another thing.
Because, I mean, if I don't get my information about Islam from either Muslim people themselves or from Muslim texts, then where am I getting it from? I mean, I'm getting it from newspapers probably, or I'm getting it from the news. Now, I'm not convinced that they always have a correct image that they're putting across. So they're obviously putting across a particular slant on things. And I wanted to find out for myself, what is it really? And I think